What's up, y'all? Rome Grown, the warrior farmer, back with another one. It's now September and we're about to do a September update. Growing season's been pretty long and we're just gonna kind of go through all the stuff that's been happening since the last time. The plants have started to now fruit and produce what they're supposed to be producing, what we spent all this hard-earned time for and all these hours out here sweating. Our pepper plants are producing peppers at an enormous rate. Remember, we did start these very late in the season, and at the end of the day, we're just glad to get whatever we can off of them. I did plant many plants per pot this season because I was doing an experiment to basically see how many peppers I could get and how many pepper plants would produce in one single fabric pot. If you guys are just tuning into the channel, I basically used these giant 10-gallon pots, fabric pots, and I'm basically just experimenting for the most part, man. You already know. Now, these are varieties that have grown in the garden before, but for the most part, we're still experimenting and seeing if we can push the limits every year. We like to take the plants that do the best and plant the seeds from last year's. This is exactly what I did here. Now, if you guys watch the vlogs from last year's, you'll be able to see the comparisons. Plants are basically around the same height, to be honest with you. Even though there's multiple plants per potter, they're still around the same size. So kind of shows me thus far at this point, at least, that, you know, if you plant one plant early enough, it can get big enough and you don't need multiple plants. But for me, this was an easy job because all I did was plant seeds from last year instead of buying clones like I normally do. So these are seeds from last year, and we're also seeing the difference in how things grow. I did pick the absolute best peppers from last year and took the seeds from them and used those in the choice selection, in the selection process rather. And that's basically what we ended up with, man. So here we have the Cayennetta peppers here, short bushy plant, lots of vigorous growth and tons of peppers, but they're always hiding. Now you do see a couple of ripe ones like this back here. And this is kind of the color that they turn when they become a little bit more ripe. It's like this red color here. For those, we have our various Palermo peppers, which are these bigger peppers here. And these things are so heavy, these plants are starting to topple over. So we're gonna have to basically pull these together and, you know, keep them upright for the most part and trim some of the stuff that we don't want so the plant grows in the direction we want it to. We have another about four Palermo pepper plants here. The biggest of the four being the chocolate Palermo. I have red, yellow, orange, and chocolate Palermos. And yeah, they're getting enormous. These things are like hand size. Fuck, man. You know, I gotta basically string these things up before they fall over. And we have our infamous peach stripey on the other side. If we come around to this side now. Last year's peach stripey noticeably had these red pinstripes through them. Now, this is the seeds from last year, and thus far, it doesn't appear to have the same pinstripes. It's basically coming out as if they were peach stripey, period. So it leads me to believe that the Sugar Rush peach stripey is more of a clone-only strain, and you can't mix it with anything. So these seeds I won't be keeping for next year. Well, I will keep them, but I'm going to separate them from my other peach stripey seeds. And yeah, that's kind of what's happening. But these flowers are very interesting looking. They have this really mustard yellow color, and it's a very pale white color, and they end up turning into a very, very red color, super crinkly. They look like almost a smaller version of the Palermo peppers, funny enough. But yeah, man, so that's the pepper section for the most part. We're gonna head on over to our the veggies and see what's going on. Don't mind the fridge and random shit over here. We got somebody moving out the crib, so it's just a bit of stuff there. But rosemary plants, this year I did not chop them at all. I used to, in previous years, cut this as it grows to use in my cooking, but this year I decided to completely leave them till the end of the year and then chop them, and look how good they're doing. These plants grow very slowly, so you can't interrupt their growth, and I'm very glad I didn't. I started off with one plant here, and I planted 2 plants per pot, so it shows you that I think plants know when there's other plants inside of a pot because they don't grow as good, and that's one thing that I found. This is one single plant, and these are 2 plants in these ones, so it really just leads me to believe that it's probably best to just plant get one plant established early and then grow from there, because you don't necessarily need to have multiple plants. Now, to save time, I was just sprinkling seeds, and that was very fast and efficient. I didn't really need to plant clones, and that can get pricey and expensive instead of saving seeds. But it shows you with particular varieties that there can be some variation the next year, because you don't know what's pollinating what, right? So funny enough though, I was expecting, to be honest with you, more mixed seeds, because everything was planted together mixed like last year. So I was expecting some crosses to come out this year out of some of the seeds that I planted. But thus far, the Reapers are Reapers, the Palermos are Palermos, the Spicy Bells are Spicy Bells. So I haven't seen anything that leads me to believe that these have been cross-pollinated and I'm getting any variation for whatever reason. Or maybe I'm just fortunate. But incidentally enough, there are multiple plants. Like, you know, each potter has probably 5 to 6 plants in them. Let me know what you guys are up to in your garden. We are in the fall season. A lot of people are just, you know, cultivating right now, and I'm just wondering where you guys are at in your journey. My stuff's only just finishing because I planted it so late. So where are you guys in your journey? Let me know in the comment section below. That is the September update. Herbs are pretty much regular. I chopped them down, so there's not much to see. But yeah, man, let me know what you guys think in the comment section. See you guys in another one.